Doesn't this look familiar? I want you all to closely observe it and think about it as we just recently celebrated Independence Day. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Shiven Jain, and I'm here to talk about parenting advice from a child's perspective. In the words of Dr. Phil, a child is like a blank slate in which a parent writes on every day. Likewise, as everybody knows that children come without a manual, parenting techniques, styles, and manners are invented and used just because every single parent wants to give his or her best in this rather complex job known as parenting. It is, however, often forgotten that these techniques are devised by adults, and many a times by adults who are seeing this only from their perspectives. I believe that ideas like these, which are devised by them, can at times be brilliant, but sometimes one-sided. So I thought, why can't parenting be something that collaborates the ideas of both the parent and the child? Why can't it be collaborative and mutual? More often than not, parenting remains totally one-sided, in which a child's wants or views go completely unheard. Parents don't think that it would be wise to leave their children with any decision-making power, apprehending that if they do so, it would be unbeneficial. Authority often comes hand in glove with overprotectiveness, the pair being Indian society's norm. Sometimes unconsciously, parents land up being overbearing or intimidating. Children are burdened to run the race of marks, grades, accolades, and awards, which might be tiring or pressurizing at times. To begin with, helicopter parenting, or rather that of authority and overprotectiveness, often results in a disease that is plaguing the youth of today: indecisiveness. Why is the youth of this country unable to make small decisions? Spoon feeding too much can be quite harmful, but parents continue to do that well until adolescence. Then suddenly, mostly in their teens, children are weighed with the strange task of decision making. I believe that parents should definitely be involved in the decisions made by their child, but should try to maintain a backseat in the more minor ones. The difference between being involved in your child's decisions versus interfering in them is that the former one is a much more mindful practice. Giving your thoughts in a subtle but still indiscreet way and showing that you care is all that is needed. Unfortunately, in the latter, it is you who takes the final call, in which a child plays minimal or no role at all. While children need to be given decision-making power, another thing that they also need to be given is dignity. As this image quotes, I have value, I am worthy, I have dignity. I believe that every single child has the right to be treated with respect and to be heard, but society often neglects this fact and only ends up giving adults respect. It is so common for teenagers to be depressed just because they have low self-esteem and consider themselves as losers. Though not always, but sometimes, even when a child wins a medal, parents, instead of appreciating them, demotivate them by pointing out their weaknesses instead. The question is, why do we have to point out a child's weaknesses when we know what it puts them through? A sense of guilt captures them, lowering their self-esteem. Why can't instead we be appreciative? It's definitely important to tell a child when he or she commits a mistake, but it must be understood that the same nagging cannot be done repetitively. The difference between I believe that children should always be given dignity, irrespective of their physicality, personality, or intellect. Parents often flood their children with presents, finding them as a suitable replacement for quality time. Therefore, these children miss out on family time and, and feel lonely and isolated at times. Some individuals grow up with the best of the best. The latest gadgets, fanciest clothes, and most expensive toys are in their possession, and yet their parents are barely ever at home. I believe that parents should try to take out at least some time from their work to give to their children because nothing materialistic can replace your family. No presents are more worthy than their presence. What are little boys made of? Snips and snails and puppy dog tails? What are little girls made of? Sugar and spice and everything nice? Every time I read this poem, I'm absolutely horrified. Let's be honest. I'm 11, I go to a co-educational school, and we have small classes. In the words of other boys, I'm odd and I've received a rather lengthy list of the boyish things I don't do. You can't even count the amount of superhero movies I've seen on your fingers because you land up finding some extras that are left. This is not because I want to create controversy amongst my friend circle, but rather because I prefer not to watch things which encourage stereotypes. Stereotypes, however, don't only come from movies of superheroes, but also where the man always saves the woman. Being a cinephile, I prefer watching movies with deeper morals and meanings. Society, being two-faced about the boy scenario, wants them to be both disciplined alongside with manly. I am a boy who spends my free time lost in the world of books. Similarly, why does society consider the emotions of sensitive boys as nonsensical fluff, contributing to the matter with the most irritating and annoying stereotype? Boys don't cry. Unaggressive boys who emote easily are labeled as pansies. Fortunately, me never being one of them. But what if my child is gay or remains a pansy, is what society thinks. Let's compare that to the thoughts of their children and their supporters. The real worst case scenario will be that your child will live a bottled up life. What's more embarrassing? Having a boy who cries at the drop of a hat? Because that's the beauty of sensitivity? Or rather a man who emotes through the harsh forms of physical violence or verbal abuse? Likewise, why do girls have to survive on a size 0 diet to be liked? Why can't they instead pursue what they want to, like or home what they want to, and live life to the fullest? How important is pretty over talented, over intelligence, or over kindness? Let's try replacing geek with intelligent, naughty with fun-loving, and pansy or gay with creative or different. Only then we will be a truly urban society in the way we treat children. Freedom. Why are parents so keen to deprive their children of technology? Maybe because they fear that it will spoil their eyes. Maybe because they think that their child will get exposed to inappropriate content on the web. Well, that is just one dark side of it. Because now, technology has almost become a synonym for opportunity. Subjects like history, mathematics, geography can all be taught online. So why are parents so keen to raise their children like they were raised? Why do parents want to raise their children like it's 1988, it's 2018? Well, some children who are deprived of technology may feel left out in their class, especially in the conversations made by their friends. For example, if you have an iPad at home, give it to your child for a limited set time, and if you think that it is killing their creativity, which might happen at times, then try substituting their time with creative arts. I believe that every single child has the right to reap the benefits of technology, just like I do. Many parents decide their child's future by claiming that they will join their family business and this is mostly prevalent with boys. Why? Why does a child have to join his or her own family business? What if they have their own goals and their own dreams? Never having been demotivated from my writing or reading, my family has always been supportive of how I want to contribute to the world now and later. I believe that every child has the right and freedom to accomplish their own dreams irrespective of their circumstances. Play. Why does society dictate roles each gender must play? Why can't a boy cuddle a doll? He may be a father someday. Why can't a girl play soccer? She might represent the country one day. Society often decides what boys and girls should play with even in their childhood, and therefore girls are given Barbie dolls and boys are given guns, gaming consoles and soccer balls. Never having liked either of the three or even having played with them, I can almost never relate to the conversations made by my friends in school because the key words these days have become Fortnite, PUBG and Call of Duty. Why? And in school, boys are supposed to be sporty and bear a chalta hai attitude towards their studies. Girls are supposed to hang out in their free time. This is an example of how people are being brought up and how limited their perception is of the world. I believe that girls should have all the liberty to play as many sports as they want and boys the same with creative arts. Play is something that structures the foundation of a child's life and therefore children should not be deprived of any kind of play. Boys should explore new avenues by cuddling dolls or by sometimes even playing with Barbie dolls. Girls should have the same with the things that they want to do. Only when children will learn to explore new avenues will they be more open-minded and balanced. Justice, every child's right. I hate seeing a child experience physical or emotional abuse. A parent's reaction of hitting a child is a technique that only makes them feel better. It helps them get rid of their own stress. Abusing a child is never going to be justified. And some parents might not do this intentionally, but it is rather a reflection of their own insecurities and frustration. Why do children have to be hit? Aren't there more intelligent ways to handle them? Not only do parents hit children, but also teachers do that. Almost daily, they punish kids for the most minor things, such as not submitting his or her homework. I believe that there is a lack of awareness regarding this matter, which is growing day by day, but yet there are so many people who need to know the disadvantages of hitting a child. I believe that no boy or girl should be hit, and there are many more mindful ways which will help the child improve on their mistakes, and therefore the parent won't need to hit them again. So now, it is up to you what you want to do. Giving justice, which is every child's right, or rather practice the what I call not so mindful way of handling children by hitting them. There are so many children in today's world who sit in classrooms that are boring them. Why? This is because there are so many children in this world and in this country whose talents are going undiscovered, unidentified, or ignored. They are prodigies, but again there is a lack of awareness regarding this matter. I believe that grade skipping is a sign of academic acceleration, and therefore a child who is sufficiently advanced in all school subjects should have the right to go to a grade in which he or she might feel competent in. Well, over here, sometimes a child who is sufficiently advanced to study in grade 3 or 4 is studying in a class which isn't doing any good to them because they already know what is being taught. I believe that that age is just a number, and therefore a child's class should be decided by his or her maturity and not their age. I am a great example of opportunity. Being able to author a book, give a parenting workshop, and now with the help of my family and supporters come onto a platform like TEDx, I believe that opportunities needed to be created and then shared. A few years ago when I got the main role in a school play, I gave it to a friend who always landed up getting the small role. After that time, I think I felt much more satisfied and that I had done my bit for giving somebody who never did. I gave that person an opportunity. In conclusion, I would like to quote the words of Barbara Johnson. To be in your children's memories tomorrow, you have to be in their lives today. Parents need to be happy, but they can only truly be happy if their child is happy too. Thank you.